Don Rowe, I'm president of the New York State Correctional Officers and Police County Association. Nice coat. Each year at this time, this coach's president reads his detailed statement outlining the union's concerns about DOC's proposed budget for the next fiscal year. A copy of this year's statement is before you. But I'm not going to read the entire statement this year because I want to spend the little time I have with you today conveying the anger and outrage felt by my members of Nice Coat. I came to this budget hearing last year, sat before you and told you that the prison system is operating well in excess of 100% capacity. We provided a detailed breakdown of the actual number of inmates within the system and explained how the department spins those numbers to make you and everyone else think that New York prisons are virtually empty. I have to ask, how can this commissioner report to the Federal Bureau of Prisons that the New York State's prison system is operating in excess of 100% capacity, and he reports to you that we have thousands of vacant beds? I explained that there are thousands of inmates living in double bunk conditions, cells, and cubicles which are designed for one person. I explained to you that this is not only a danger to the brave men and women who work behind the walls, but also to those incarcerated inside. I explained how important the minimum prison system setting is to prevent recidivism among those incarcerated. And I explained that by doing away with these vital camps and minimum annexes, the department is placing officers and inmates alike in a no-win situation, since vital transitional programs would be lost and these minimum security inmates would be warehoused in higher security space. The state was in a financial peril last year, and I told all of you that I so well understood that it needed to bear some of the financial pain, but that we believe strongly that the pain needed to be shared throughout the Department of Correctional Services. Despite our efforts last year, the Commissioner closed prisons and annexes, reduced the number of correctional officer positions, but left administrations within the department untouched. I look at what Commissioner Fisher is proposing in this budget, and it not only appalls me, but it infuriates my entire membership. He is once again proposing the closure of correctional facilities at a time when the prison system as a whole is operating at 102% capacity, with the maximums operating at over 122%. Not only will more inmates be jammed into less space, but there clearly is no plan to address 15,000 inmates who are currently living in double bunk conditions. Commissioner Fisher is proposing once again to do away with vital programs designed to help inmates assimilate back into society. Are we to assume that programs contained within the minimum facilities and shock incarceration programs were meaningless and useless? The Commissioner seems to think so. Most problematic to me as president of this union is that the Commissioner is once again proposing to reduce the number of line item correction officer positions within the department without reducing a single administrative position. By now, everyone should be familiar with the department's waste at the administrative level. We at NYS have been touring the state in recent months in an effort to finally shed some light on where real and significant cost savings could come from. Several members of this body have joined our fight, and we thank you for taking up our cause. But more needs to be done. Take a look at those charts. How is it possible that the number of people on those charts has actually increased in recent years, while the number of correctional officer positions has decreased by more than 2,000? How can this type of operating plan possibly be viewed as following safety? Can you honestly sit here and say the proposed budget is fair and equitable to the rank and file members of the department who provide safety and security within the prison system? I am sure you can sense my frustration, but please understand I need to explain to my membership some rationale for the Commissioner's proposal, and frankly there isn't any. But what I can tell my membership is that we will once again turn to the governing body of the people of this state and ask the honorable members of this legislature to protect the interests of those performing the responsibility of day-to-day supervision and care of New York's inmate population. We ask for nothing more than fair and equitable treatment, but we demand nothing less. Thank you, and I would be happy to answer any questions you may have now or during your budget deliberations.